Welcome to Wednesday Club. Well, a virtual Wednesday Club anyway. We've got singing, a memory verse and talks for you. So keep logged on and enjoy yourself.
Good morning, everyone. This is an image of the person we're thinking about today in our Bible reading, a guy called Peter, who was a fisherman back in Jesus' time. So, as we think about that, let me read you a little bit of the Bible. Jesus was walking by Lake Galilee. He saw two brothers, Simon, called Peter, and Simon's brother, Andrew. The brothers were fishermen, and they were fishing in the lake with a net. Jesus said to them, "Come, follow me, and I will make you fishermen for men." At once, Simon and Andrew left their nets and followed him. Now, this was the first time Jesus met those two men. It's the first time those two men had even seen Jesus. They might have heard about him, but they'd never met him before. And immediately, did you notice it said immediately they left everything that they were doing and they followed Jesus. They went to be his disciples. Now, that's quite amazing when you think about it. I mean, what did they see in Jesus which made them drop what they were doing and leave their family business, their livelihoods, and just go and follow Jesus? Amazing. But what I'd like you to think about more today is, what did Jesus see in them that made him choose them? What was it about those two fishermen? In fact, there were two other fishermen that went shortly afterwards as well to join Jesus too. But what was it about those people when they met Jesus that he chose them? Well, if you think about fishermen back then, we know a little bit about them. We know that they were pretty strong and fearless, because fishing on that lake was hard work and could be quite scary at times, because even though we think lakes are very placid and very calm, actually Lake Galilee is not, and so it can be really scary at times. We know that they're hardworking. You know, they have to be patient, because they have to sometimes put those nets down, wait a long time before the fish come. But it was often said of fishermen, particularly from that area around Galilee, that they could be a bit rough and ready, and they could be a bit hard in what they said and how they spoke to people, a bit rough too, a bit hot-headed, and they were definitely smelly. And the people of that time didn't really like fishermen. They thought they were kind of not very nice, and that they should sort of ignore them and be on the edge of the society. So they were a bit of a funny group of people to choose, maybe, for disciples. But Jesus, you see, when he sees people and when he looks at you and when he meets you, he sees something that other people don't. He sees us for who we really are. He sees exactly who we are. He sees what kind of people we are right now, and also the kind of people that we can be in the future. And Jesus would have looked at Peter and his brother Andrew, and he would have looked at them and said, "You know what? I'm going to choose you because I know what kind of people you can be in the future. I've got something special for you, and I know you're going to be able to do it." And he knew Peter would be a leader. And he knew Peter would be someone who is calm and gentle at sometimes too. He knew he'd be still hot-headed and make some mistakes like we always do. Everybody does that. But he knew Peter had some special qualities about them. You see, there's a bit in the Bible where in one of the Psalms it says this about God. He said, the writer says about God, "You knew me from the very beginning, when you formed me in my mother's body." Now that's quite interesting, isn't it? That God knew us and he formed us even in our mum's womb, and that he knows everything about us because he is God. And so that's quite brilliant, I think. And so I don't know about you, when you look at yourself in the morning in the mirror, when you're combing your hair, hope you do, or when you're brushing your teeth and you're looking there, or you're there and you see and you think about, I wonder what's going on today. Or perhaps you have those moments where you doubt that you're any good at anything, and you perhaps think, I can't do this, I'm not good enough. Well, let me encourage you to think that Jesus sees you, God sees you as someone who is unique and special, someone who he took care over to create, and even more brilliantly, I think, has a plan for you, and a plan for you alone, because you are unique, and he created you especially for you to do a plan and a work for him. And I think that's fantastic. And I think it's something to take courage by and to be heartened by, that no matter who we are or where we live or what we do, God has a special plan for us. And in fact, in the book of Jeremiah, it says, I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. I have a good plan for you. I don't plan to hurt you. I plan to give you hope and a good future. And that's what Jesus had for Peter when he met him on the on the lake, and the other disciples, and for each person that he met. And for you and me now, although we won't necessarily meet Jesus actually physically, if we do get to know him through the Bible, that promise of a plan and a future for us is still relevant today.
For today is, let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in God, believe also in me. John 14, verse 1. And Jesus is speaking, let not your heart be troubled. And we need to believe in God. In our troubled times with this coronavirus, we need to believe in God. We need to pray and communicate with God and talk with him and believe in him. But also we need to believe in Jesus. Jesus is saying, believe in me. Do you remember the text now? Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in God, believe also in me. John 14, verse 1. Now, I'm going to rub some out. Can you remember? Can you remember? Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in God, believe also in me. John 14, verse 1. Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in God, believe also in me. John 14, verse 1. I hope you can remember that verse. Thank you.